All right, are we live? We are live, I think. Give me a second. Dola Dev, I don't know if you're still there. Good evening. Alrighty. Trev, my friend, good evening. I'm very good, man. How are you? How is life? How are you, man? Interesting. Nice, man. Just keep rocking. Just keep cracking at it, and you're gonna do great. No question about that. I really love those tests inside Storybook. I wonder if we could kind of... Please know the Storybook test doesn't bring v-test into Storybook. We only utilizing a couple of v-tests internally so that you can use those in your stories. Yeah, it's just like it would be super nice if give this to ChatGPT to read it for us, right? Let's go here. Let's use Jean-Code Van Debug very quickly. Can you read this and figure out if there's a way to use my existing v-test tests inside Storybook? Simple words that I don't have to write the tests the Storybook way. Let's see if it's gonna manage to read that thing. Okay, so how do we do that? Like, that's quite interesting. Dramatic. Where was that? Storybook. I've just researched that a bit. Storybook v-test add-on. Yeah, I actually tried this, but this kind of sucks. That's not it. This is literally, I had to generate a test as JSON. No. Light test integrations. Nah, that's not it. No. Yeah, this would be super cool, right? To get the tests actually. Well, actually, we already have interactions, right? What's happening to the Storybook jest package, and does it mean it? Now I can use v-test in Storybook. Yuki, good evening, buddy. Okay, I see, right? So this is kind of how they do it, right? Yeah, all right. Well, let's give it a bit to get a little bit more mature, right, before we try. But yeah, it looks pretty awesome. Looking forward to that. All right, so going back to our own stuff. Yeah, what is to say? I'm still moving. I'm still doing this open source component library now, moving stuff. Last night I moved something off stream. More specifically, some pretty awesome components, a lot of logic that we wrote long ago in the stream. Now I have the image input, you have it as well, you can access this online. And then I have an image crop, right, which, all right, this is, so the question now is, yeah, so the question now is, what do we do next? Let's create some stories though, right? So what is this front end? Yeah, this is our, okay. So what I'm actually gonna do, I'm going to, yeah, let's create some previews, but with the crop, right? So I'm gonna go to the stories here, and I'm gonna create another one. Yeah, so I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna try exports with image crop. Then I'll try just to do something like pretty much this, right? I'm not gonna pass any arguments there. Let's just try something like this, even though image inputs. Let's not give it any props, just to make sure that if we can actually do this. And what is it complaining about? Accept and change. Yeah, okay, let's give it some. Yeah, so let's give it those props basically, right? Actually, we could stay. Right, let's do this, and let's just give it args like this. Yeah, let's go to storybook. Image crop. Now, where is the image input? Yeah, okay, with the image crop, so that's great. So we want to combine the two right now into a single story. What is it? Is it really missing from there? I'm new to React. What do you recommend I do? I mean, I have nothing to recommend, man. But whatever you want to learn, no matter what it is in life, you have to sit and spend the time doing it, right? There's no secret wand to me telling you something that you don't already know, right? If you want to learn things, you have to sit and put in the work, and that's it, right? What are you going to build? It's absolutely irrelevant. You can build whatever you want, right? That's completely irrelevant. Is it a to-do app or whatever it is, right? It's completely irrelevant, right? What you're gonna do has no significance. You just have to do it, right? That's really it. So what I suggest is you have to sit, warm up the chair, and put a lot of work. And that's pretty much it, right? All right. There's no secret wand or secret solution to how to learn something. It takes time and passion and a lot of other things. All right, and here we want to also use image crop, right? as an example, obviously. And yeah, we want to just compose a story with it, just so we can play with it and make sure that it's all great. So image crop takes what? Width, height. Yeah, the font is, yeah, you can get it there, Bruno. All right, so let's get over here. So height, let's say 500, width 500. SRC, I suppose we could go to image crop stories and get this one. Is it the actual path? Is it the accurate path? I suppose it should be the accurate path, yes. Image, yeah. Seems, I guess, okay. Yeah. Right, what else is mandatory? What did we do? Height, width, SRC. Let's see, how did I implement this? I don't actually forget what are the mandatory props. Yeah, it's a bit awkward that X is mandatory and Y. I don't think they have to be. On complete unit also shouldn't be necessary, right? All right, now I see why I did that. Okay, well, it's okay. So we'll just provide it even though, and then we'll play with that. So where is the stories? Here, right? So we'll say X is 0, Y is 0, and then what else? Unit is PX. And yeah, it seems to be fine with that now, right? So now we have this, but actually what we want to show as an SRC really is whatever we choose. So basically, when we choose an image here, we want to show it in this cropped area, right? So that's the point of the story now. So yeah, let's come here and say const exactly something like this. Sure. And let's get rid of that. And yeah, we'll basically do something like this. Get rid of this. And then we'll say, hey, only render the image crop if there's an image selected, right? Cool. And yeah, now when we want to set the image, on change here should give us we actually go back to image input. So yeah, we are getting base. So I'm gonna get base64 string, maybe I can use that, or a file, we'll see, right? So but this is on file loaded on changed data. What is this? I see message file data. Okay. All right, so let's say here file. Let's say any for a second, and then let's say set image. But I don't think that's what it's actually. So let's comment this out for a sec. All right, let's see what we actually get when I call this bad boy. So I choose an image. Wow. Okay. Really. Ah, yeah. I see. Yeah. Never mind. The question is that on change even needed anymore? Because now I've incorporated stuff inside of this on file loaded. Yeah, here it is. Beautiful. So here I have, as you can see, base64 image, and then also the blob. That's what the library that when I wrote it back in the day did. Yeah, cool. So now I guess that the image crop is taking, I don't think it's taking base64 image, I think it's taking a blob. So we're gonna try to say just set image, and we're gonna say file.blob just for fun. No, not really, right? File.blob. No, so it's file.blob, right? try that again. All right, something happened. Okay, let me just go to image crop and let's see how I actually implemented that. Blah, blah, blah. Crop. Yeah, where's the SRC? Here it is. SRC, okay, so Boolean SRC. All right, so it's taking the actual SRC, okay. I see. How did I do this before? So if I go, for example, to upload avatar or whatever, let me actually find where I'm using this thing over here, right? All right. Image crop, local SRC, set local SRC. Okay, I guess it's safe to look for this. Upload avatar on file loaded, set local SRC. Yeah, on file loaded, this is the existing kind of thing that we have in production. On file loaded. Then we set the file. I see. Okay. So basically, if we go back to this library we're building, it should basically mean something like this, right? Take a look at that again. So something's off. Jesus Christ, man, come on. Why the fuck are you? Alright. File. And then this file here. So yeah, it should technically be that. I don't know why it doesn't work. Let's try that again. Set image. Yeah. We have a blob, and what do I have in production now? On file loaded. Yeah, we have this. So it is base 64 thing. I see. So it does actually require base 60. That's how I built it back then. I just forgot, right? So basically here we should have base 64 thing, right? Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. I just forgot. Okay, so now, yeah, so now we are combining the story, the file image input with the image crop, right? And we're gonna play with this a bit, and then we're gonna move other components into this library. Okay, so all right. So I wonder if this onChange is gonna be needed. We'll just comment it out for now, or actually, where is the onChange pass to image input? Let's go there for a second. Image input, change. If it's valid, if it's not a valid image. Then we have on file loaded, which basically happens when I call handle select, right? So actually it doesn't, so it seems I can actually get rid of onChange, right? Let's see. I don't think we need it anymore. Yeah, we don't need it. Beautiful. That's great. That's super. It was actually pretty confusing before. So I can get rid of that and simplify. Super. That's very good. Okay, well, that's great. Now we can get rid of this, because we need on file loaded only, pretty much, right? When you select a file, right? When you do this and select some file, that's when that gets executed, right? We get this thing that I implement, right? And then as you can see here, we are validating the image. So this is a very nice component. I think people will find this very useful if they end up using this library we're building, and the crop together with the crop as well. All right, so now, now let's see what's happening here. So if we go back to the story, and here we can just say base 64, or maybe not. Let's just actually say file. Do we have a type that I'm exporting from image input? So let's see. I must have that, right? Where's the file? So this one. So let's call this one let's give this some interface, right? Let's call it interface I file, what is it called? Image input, no, I on file loaded. Right, something like that, right? It doesn't really matter. Monster, good evening, buddy. How's life? Can I export this thing, right? We'll smack it over here, right? That's super. And then here we can actually use it, right? Say file, and then this, and then we can import it, right? And I completely imported the wrong thing. I was supposed to do this. That's great. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, now we have the base 64, so that's really good. Okay, super. That's good. So let's play this with this. Does it look to you, when you look at what I'm doing, that you need to know physics? Does any of this look to you like physics? It only looks like that maybe because you haven't done it, but there's nothing that I'm doing here that's complicated or that's mind-blowing. It's just a right. You don't need to know gravity and physics because most of the game engines, you're not going to be building, implementing gravity and acceleration and stuff. But yes, for this stuff that I'm doing, you don't need that, no. Okay. Yeah, so that's great. Now let's figure out a few things, right? Because we can see that. So that's unclear to me. So let me just play with this a bit, because the image crop is this height and width. So let's actually, even though I implemented this, it's unclear to me. So width and height is this is the crop width and height, right? X and Y is the position where the crop starts. So if I refresh this and we go select image, yeah, that's a little bit weird, right? Because 0, 0 that I use there would indicate to me something else, but that's not the case, right? So let's see a bit. Scale, use state 1, rotate, use state 0. Width, let's say 100. What? Ah, never mind. All good, I get it. So now it's starting the crop from the full width. That's great, that's what we want. Yeah, so that's okay, right? Well, I'm trying to spring boot Java on Visual Studio. I'm not sure you're trying to spring boot Java. You mean, are you able to write Java in Visual Studio Code? Because I'm not using Visual Studio, I'm using Visual Studio Code. I have a hypothetical scenario question. If you have a big project and you identify if I had a lot of issues, would you? I would never rebuild things from scratch unless they're utterly broken in every sense. Building things from scratch is the idea that usually comes to very junior people who don't know the consequence of refactoring things. Because the main assumption of somebody who's not very experienced is that if they do it, if they've been just given the chance to rebuild all from scratch, that it would all be great. And it's never great. There's always regressions. It's always incredibly complex to rebuild the whole product. It takes a lot of money, a lot of time, and very little value. If you go to me, if I'm your CTO, and you come to me and tell me, hey Alex, I want to rebuild the whole thing, I would ask you several questions. First question would be, as always, and that's the question you should always be asking about anything in life, would be why? Why do you want to do that? And then my follow-up questions would depend on your answer. If you tell me, well, things are broken, right? I would obviously have to you would have to come up with some plan. What is broken? Where? Can we fix it? Can we not fix it? And what is the outcome of that thing? You want to refactor something, yes. Okay, what is the outcome? What is the outcome and what is the value? And how long is it going to take? So when you refactor that, what is the actual value? Is it for the users? Is it for the developers? Is it for both? So who product increases in quality? On what end? Does the developer experience increase so you can build the software faster? Does something else increase so it makes the product better for the users? So whenever you get any idea of rebuilding anything, you have to, or generally those questions I just mentioned, some of the surfaced ones on my mind, you should be asking anyway all the time. If some developer comes to you and says, why are you not using this? You just ask why. And usually that's where the discussion ends with most people, because they are just influenced by YouTubers, Twitter heroes and stuff, and they don't have no fucking clue what they're talking about, right? So if somebody comes to you and says, why are you not using this latest library? Just ask them why, right? So it's very simple. What am I doing now? I'm open sourcing the front end from Programmer Network. So I'm open sourcing this UI into a library. So I'm building this, I'm moving it into a component library basically. It's over here. Actually, that's what we're doing today. Let me just pin it. Yeah, I just removed Louis. I mean, I just renamed it because, as some people say, it contained the logo from, like, you know. Why are you so negative? What do you mean negative about other programming streamers? Can you elaborate on that? Which ones? When did I mention other streamers? Negative is calling them Twitter heroes. Okay, that is negative, yes. So what is your point? What are you trying to say? Why am I calling them Twitter heroes? Is that the question? Okay, anyway. So we need to figure out basically two things, right? I don't understand the question. What do you want me to say? Why are you being negative? I don't understand. What is the question? Is the question, why are you being negative? Is that the question? If your question is why are you being negative, it's because people come to this stream filled with stupid ideas engraved in their brains by those same people who actually don't build anything. They just record videos talking about crap without actually using any of that. And then people come to this stream and they say, wow, why don't you use this? And then I ask them, why would I? And they have no response. That's why I'm being negative. That's pretty much the reason. So why am I calling them Twitter heroes? That's why I'm calling them Twitter heroes. I hope that clarifies it. All right, going back to this. So yeah, let's play with this a bit, because okay, let's maybe reduce the size to 150. All right, I see, okay. And then here, I think we have to say locked, right? Let's say locked, and it should then be locked, I believe, to this specific size, right? Shit, it isn't. Huh. Interesting. I am using Redux toolkit for programming network, yes. But I worked with Redux for many years, yeah. I even wrote my own version at one point, yes. But we are also using it for programming network, yes. I haven't worked with Zustand because, you know, I've been using for Redux for so many years that I just can't switch to anything else. That's pretty much it, right? Image crop. Keep selection, circular drop. Yeah, this is a little bit awkward now. So yeah, that's a little bit confusing. Wait, let's see. So is this actually doing anything right now? Doesn't seem so, right? Did you finish? You don't finish a platform like that. What do you mean finish? The platform is deployed long ago and has more than 1,000 users, if that's what you mean. But what do you mean by finish? You never finish a social platform, right? Yeah, I mean, finish, you don't... It's like saying, did you finish Facebook, right? I don't think we'll ever finish it, right? But if you mean have we deployed it, then yes, we have deployed it very long ago, yeah. I mean, there's... I think 1,100 people have signed up already. But finish, I don't think you can finish a platform like that, right? The prop area class name. Let me just try something. I just wanna basically figure some stuff out. All right, I see, right? So that's kind of nice, Bruno. Yeah, but we I mean, finish. I don't think we'll ever finish, to be very frank with you. I don't think that's type of a platform you finish, right? I mean, there's so many things. You know, I do this just after work and stuff, right? But if I had all the time in the world, there would always... I mean, monster, right? That's just immaturity. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? There's a huge dose of immaturity amongst, especially web developers, right? Because they are led by YouTube heroes, right? As I call them. They're not read by reason. They're read by 13 minutes videos or 1 minute shorts videos they watch. Some people, right? So that's why you're hearing that stuff, right? Yeah, there's no, and that's the beauty of it, Bruno, right? I love it. I mean, I'm not doing this to finish it, because that would mean that I'm trying to chase some goal that I'm not enjoying it, right? I mean, this is fun, and I'm talking to you guys, we're learning something together, having fun, right? So it's not that this is something that I necessarily want to finish, right? Why Redux is shit in 100 seconds, exactly. That's the mentality of a modern web developer, right? It's can't justify anything with reason. It's just talking bullshit, right? That's why, you know, I'm fed up with that crap, because people come here and tell me, why are you not using X? And I say, why would I? And they say, well, because it's the latest, right? That's super cancerous to the society, right? It's degrading the quality of engineers, under quotes, on monthly basis, right? Because people are led by Twitter heroes, not by reason, right? But yeah, that's just how it is, man. That's how it is. All right, it's just over here. It's a little bit now. So, shit. Give me a second. So image crop, React crop and change. That on image load. Wait a minute. On load. this actually being called? Give me a second. All right, so it is called. Okay, maybe, yeah, actually, of course it is. And median height. And what is this? What is this actually? Center crop. What is this taking? Let's actually read the docs for this, because yeah, that's kind of something I need to finish, right? And then we move to other things. So let's go. Shit. So let's actually see what was this image load, right? So we have this set crop, center crop. So let's. You must ensure that the crop is in bounds and correct. The aspect ratio finally setting aspect ratio can be tricky when using. You can make use of center crop and make aspect helpers. How can I center the crop and blah blah aspect? Yes. Make aspect crop. On crop change, what? Handle change percent crop. Okay, so that's good. So that's, yeah, at least we're doing what they're saying that we should be doing here, right? And then center crop make, yeah, let's just double check that. Canvas preview. Why do I need this? Let me just, yeah, it's a little bit weird. Some of the things that are happening a little bit weird now. Wait. Yeah, exactly. Okay, give me a second. So if we get over here, yeah, exactly. Wow, it's actually reading my mind, literally. So let's just get here and say on complete, handle complete, right? And let's print this bad boy here. All right, so yeah, when I move this fires, right? So yeah, yeah, not very happy with just few things, right? Because so yeah, now we're actually getting the cropped image there, and that's great. Are we actually getting a base 64 image or not? We're getting a blob, so we should also kind of change that, maybe just to go along with this with our image input as well. But yeah, but there's something here that doesn't work well, I think. And thank you very much, Kevin. Appreciate it. So yeah, so the crop size, at least I would expect that. I would expect the crop size now to actually work, right? Because we have height, we have the unit, height is 150 and blah, 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 right? So if we get over here, yeah, maybe, okay, let me just try one random thing, right? So I'm gonna just say here width 150, px. Maybe that's the problem. Try. Nope. So you see, like, I would expect this cropping area now to be 150 so that I can drag the image, but it's not. So what the hell? Why? Super weird. Yeah, nope. Yeah, nope, nope. Yeah, right? Nope. It almost basically fills up the whole image every time. I don't know why it does that. Change, handle change, blah, blah, blah. All right, let me just do a few things. So let me just comment out some of those side effects, right? Just for the sake of nope. Minimum crop width and minimum crop height, maximum crop height, maximum. Yeah, so that's a little bit weird, right? Because yeah, that kind of makes no sense. Because I guess if I would get over here, right? So if I would undo this and I say, yeah, give me a second. So I get over here, I suppose I say max height 150, or yeah, height, max width, height, width. Swag, good evening, buddy. I'm doing very well, man. How are you? How is life? How are you, man? Maximum height. Nice, man. Do you like it? I hope you like it. I hope you like it, dude. Am I looking? No, this is the wrong project. Sorry. All right, going back here. Where's the aspect? Units. Oh yeah, so let's get rid of this. And let's get rid of that as well. So where's the actual aspect? Return, okay. Yeah, I don't get it. So this is the only thing now that we need to. Yeah, I've never used their file structure. Yeah, for sure. I never really used their stuff. I built my own, right? I can maybe show you later. Let me just fix this and I can maybe save you a few hours of work. Let me just fix this. Not fix this, let me just figure it out. So this is kind of the... Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. Like, is this zoomed in or something? No. So why is the crop... Why is it not taking the crop? Like, I don't get it genuinely. Wait. Let me just hard code it here, literally. Genuinely, like, confused here. Okay, now it's working. What? Oh my god, are you kidding me? And wait, what if I say... Okay, so for some reason that's not... Oh, okay, good. We're good. Okay. But the question though is, do I want this anyway? So regardless of this little issue, right? So that's the problem, right? So if I go to production, right? If I go to production here, and if I go to profile, right? And if we go here, so the problem right now is this, right? So if you do this, I only give you this size, right? That's probably not what we want. What we actually want most likely is that I allow you to change, you know, choose whatever you want in your image, but then we downscale it to 200, let's say, by 200 pixels or whatever. So actually, you know, So we actually don't want this anyway, but let's fix it. We have to fix it, but we don't really want this, right? So, because yeah, it makes no sense, right? Makes no sense in this context, but since we're now building this as a library, right, we need to make sure that it works for other people, right? No, it's, I think I know what it is. We just need an effect, right? So it's fine, I get it, right? So we basically just need to make sure that on component load, right, that we actually call the set crop, right, and we pass, you know, those things. So this was the issue for sure, right? 100%. I'm sure now that if we go to our storybook, right, and refresh this, well, I'm to some degree sure. Let's see. Yeah, there we go, right? So that was the issue. Yeah, we got it. All right, cool. But regardless of that, right, that's not what we actually want, right? So we don't really want to enforce this. So so this is good. That's why I wanted to make it as part of this file input that we have. So yeah, so that's really good. The only thing that I would basically do, right, is ensure that, yeah, we only call this if those things exist, right? So all of them have to exist, right? Thank you very much for the follow, buddy. Appreciate it. So let's say here unit with height blah blah blah, and let's just say here, yeah, if yes, my dear co-pilot. Okay, so if any of those is missing, right, don't set this thing in state, right? And because we will not want that always, right? So you can see here, because I'm not passing it, well, actually, nah, if no unit, no width, no height, yeah, okay, no, we have to be careful here, right? So yeah, so we can say here if unit, okay, if no unit, yeah, so here we have to say, let's actually see. This kind of sucks, right? And we'll fix it. We can't use we can't ask the question like this, right? Because somebody might pass x as 0 or y as 0 as well, right? So that would still evaluate to false, right? So that's why we need to ask it like this, right? Okay, his number is deprecated, really? So, and is replaced by what? Use type of number instead. Okay. Yeah, I just okay. That's all right. Well, yeah, let's just say this is like more explicit, right? Instead of checking undefined, right? So here we can say height. Darius, my friend, good evening. How are you? How are you, man? But that should technically work, right? Let's go to the story here. Height, width. All right, so it's super strange. Yeah, wow. So we do actually end up here. Let's see why. See? Yeah, that's a little bit awkward, right? So we didn't actually end up here. So what happened? that's a little bit weird for sure, right? Let's see. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's fair enough, right? That's correct. So wow, okay. Okay, so we didn't fix it yet, it seems, right? So that's a correct statement for sure. Okay, let's see. Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't think it's that, right? I mean, we technically also don't really need this state, right? Loin, my friend. No, I don't have it hard-coded. No, I don't think so, no. I don't have it hard-coded anywhere, I just have it in a story. But we don't really also... Do we actually need this crop state though, right? Because when are we actually calling set crop, right? We are calling it with the... Well, actually, yeah, we do need it, right? But... I mean, maybe we should lift this up, right, a little bit more. I'm not actually quite sure, right? But we could do that, certainly, right? So maybe we should try that, right? Maybe we should not keep this internal to this component, right? But I actually think we should. How are you, Luin, man? How is life? So yeah, maybe we can try that, right? Because we are, yeah, maybe we could try that instead, right? So let's move this out. So let's actually get over here, right? We're gonna move this bad boy here. And yeah, so let's say here 150, 150. No, let's say px 150. Yeah, but this is not an image input component. This is image crop component. It's a different component. Those two are completely two different things. I'm just making a story with them to test them working together, right? And then basically here now we can, so instead of basically doing this, right? So we can get rid of this and this. We can just say that this now takes an actual crop, right? Image crop. How's my life? Good, man. Good. Kid, wife, you know, work. I guess like majority of people. Kind of static there. This project with you guys, right? Yeah, pretty much sums it up, right? Let's see here, src. So basically, let's extend this. So we're gonna get rid of this. I actually like that we ended. This is good. This is very good. I like this a lot. I like that this actually happened because I like this solution better, right? So all good. This is exactly what I like, a lot more than before. Okay, and then here now we can say crop and set crop, right? Random Potato, good evening, buddy. Oh, why is this? Nope. Namari, my friend, it's been years. What's up? Let's just try it like that for a moment. Here, I guess we can just say for now if computer science. All right, I see. And then, well, we actually don't need this effect anymore, right? Shit. Yeah, differential equations. I've been there, man, my friend, many years ago. Like, many years ago. All right, cool. Let's clean that up. And yeah, let's actually remove this for now. So I like that a lot more. Now, is it gonna work now? Well, we'll see. What do we have here? Unit up. Okay, we have to get rid of that as well. Okay. Right. All right. That is super weird. Wait, what? Wait. I see. Okay. Oh my fucking lord, man. Are you kidding me? Why did I have this here? I think some of you mentioned it, but why did I have this here? Make aspect crop. Let's go, like, why? What was this supposed to do? I see. All right. I see. Okay, so all right, so that's what it has. I see. All right. This makes no fucking sense, man. Wait, you need to check the type. What? I mean, this is so stupid. Okay. I see. Wait. Yeah, that actually. Yeah, this is so fucking stupid, man. Like, I don't get it. Like, seriously. Jesus fucking Christ, man. So. Alright. But yeah, now it's centered as I imagined it would be, right? And that's kind of okay, right? Yeah. I like that a lot. I think besides this little thing now, I think that's pretty good. So yeah, now if we go to the story, right, and we omit the crop, which we actually can't do this because it's going to complain, but we'll actually make it optional. It should actually have no crop, right? Which makes no sense, right? Because at the end of the day, this is, yeah. So essentially, yeah. So it seems that okay. So I think if we are to figure out the way that we're going to be using this, so we will always have some crop, right? So we'll always show the crop, and then we're going to fiddle between those two states. Is this locked or not? If it's not locked, right, then you're free to enlarge this to any degree you want, right? So you can do that. You can say, hey, all right, do this, right? There's a difference. So that's okay, actually, right? Okay, beautiful. And let's do another thing. So inside of the story, right? So this is really good. Here we're gonna get the cropped image, right? And we're gonna get a blob and not a base64 image, right? So if I go into my image utils, I think I wrote that last night. Press get scale dimensions. Yeah, so thank you very much for the follow. Create, so basically here we create an image, which is basically a yeah, and then we do the did I implement the base64 thing? Yeah, over here, right? So read file as a data URL, right? So this is basically, this can give us a actually what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this thing and I will go to the utils, and I'm gonna just make this actually part of this thing, right? Where's my public methods here? Public, right? So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna say, hey, it's gonna be public static thing. We don't really need that. So that's good, right? Now we can actually go to the image input thing. I'll remove it from here and I'll just say that this is image utils.that, right? Should still work properly. But now in my story over here, I can actually, because I want another preview, I want another preview in the story of the image that we're actually cropping, right? So what I'm gonna do here in handle crop complete, I'm gonna set another state, right? So here I'm gonna say const cropped image set cropped image, and that's not really gonna be a blob, it's gonna be a string, because it's going to be a base64 string, right? So we're going to do it like this. And as I'm dragging here this cropped image, I will, well, actually, yeah, so that's the thing. So now we need to figure out together or I need to figure out how I want this library to work, or this little component we're doing here, because technically somewhere here, right, this cropped image is a blob, right? But if I go into the utility here, what I'm actually returning is an image, HTML image element. So yeah, so here I'm resolving a blob, right? So technically here now I could say, what was it? Where is this thing? Canvas utils, right? Here I could say, you know, image utils dot, no. I suppose something like this, right? And then we have to wait for that, right? Well, we have to basically, where is it? We have to resolve this, right? Yeah, this definitely returns a string, so that's good. So yeah, I don't actually like this. So let's make sure that this actually just returns a blob, right? Because I'm not sure. Play one game, my friend. Good evening. So let's not do this, right? So let's keep this as it was, and then based on the usage, a person can choose to convert it to something else if they want, right? So because this is now a blob right now, I should be able to say here image utils, right? Dot read the file URL, right? Cropped image. For image. Yeah, shit, this is expecting the file, right? So let's see if that's actually gonna work. I don't think so, but let's try. Yeah, actually it does. So you can see that we do get a base64 image, so that's great, right? that's good. So now I can say set cropped image, right? This, and then I can show it somewhere as well in the story. So we have this thing, image input, and then we can just say here image src cropped image, right? And we'll just show this if the cropped image actually exists. So we can say cropped image and image, right? So now if I actually choose Luigi, right, and then I move this, you can see that we're seeing the actual area. We're previewing that area as we move the crop, right? And yeah, that's just what I wanted to kind of showcase. All right. Give me a second. Cool. All right. So that's good. That I like. Let's do some layout here, just so the story is nicer to read. I mean, cropping image works always. It's just that we want it to work a bit better, right? It works now in production as well. I don't think that it has ever been broken. It just doesn't work as I would expect it, right? Oh, this is an image input. Sorry, my bad. I was supposed to wrap something else. Yeah, I mean, it has always worked. I mean, you're right. It's just it worked kind of differently. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Let's actually choose a smaller image as well, so we can just. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Let's choose a smaller image. Chooses the biggest one on the computer. All right. Yeah. Now, there's one fundamental thing which is what I want to work differently, right? And that is the compression, right? Because I've implemented the compression as part of this file input, image input as I call it. This guy has a compression, right? If I go into image input, I've implemented some compression, and if it's enabled, it applies some compression, right? I pass the compression object, right? If I go here, how did I define the compression? So enabled max width quality, right? So that's actually good. So let's, yeah. So if I would technically, for this crop here, if I would say, you know, unit percent, and I say 100% and 100%. Give me a second, I just need to think about this a bit. So if I do this now, you can see that the crop basically is full, right? So it's full width now, and let me just think those cases in my mind. And then locked, let's say, is false. So basically the crop isn't locked. You can kind of do this, right? So you could do something like this. What I want the output of this image here to the right to actually be, let's say, some size. So that's the problem, I think, because here now, if I go to, where's this image input arguments here? So compression enabled, I say max, what is it? Max width 200, quality, let's say super low quality. Let's try that. So you can see that it's not lossless compression, so you can see the quality is pretty shitty. Yeah, so this is the problem, right? So basically, okay, I see. So because what I really want is so what I really want to compress isn't the thing that's here in the preview. It's the image that we actually, the output image, right? So that's kind of what's not great right now. So let's think about that a bit. So when I do this and I select this, it's not this image that I'm selecting now that I want to compress. It's this image here that I want to compress and have max width on it. So if I go to programmer network, like if I go to production and I go to undress, this image, when you're uploading it under your profile, right? This image is something that, for example, depending on the context that I want. So I would want user here now, and that's what we just fixed, to be able to select this whole Luigi, right? But when they click upload, we then compress and then resize to, let's say, 200 by 200 or whatever the image size for that specific use case should be. Right? So that's what we have to do. So this is the thing that we have to apply compression on. Right? Well, both of them, we want to compress this, but then also where is this compress function? Did I actually, and what it takes the blob, right? Yeah. We try maybe something like this. Right? Is this returning a promise or whatever? No? Is this synchronous? It's not. Okay. So, and then here we can say compressed image. So let's imagine we do this, and then we do this. And what does this actually return? This returns still a file, right? Shit, this returns a base64 image. Fuck. But then we basically don't need this anymore, right? I mean, if this is the case, then why not do this, right? Yeah, there we go. That's literally what I want. Oh, so nice. Right, so see what I'm doing. I am compressing this image, so I'm not fiddling with this thing, right? I'm compressing this image in the right. So this is the behavior that we would want for users. So hey, your avatar is gonna be, let's say, 200 by 200. Now what you're gonna select, which area you're gonna select in the image you're trying to upload is up to you. Are you gonna do this, or are you gonna just select the ear, right? Yeah, that's what we want. Super. That's really good. That's really good. Yep, that's very good. So that's really what we want. Handle crop complete. So yeah, right. So that being said, right, handle complete. This is where the get cropped image. this is, I think, where we should be applying the actual... Okay, so that's very good to know. That's good. So where is this compression? It, image crop, where is it? Image crop. Actually, there isn't a compression here, right? No, there isn't. Okay, that's good. That's actually good. That's good. And maybe we should have it, right? Get cropped image. This returns a blob, right? Yep. And then basically we're leaking out stuff out here. So essentially what we could do, we could ensure that the image crop itself actually has now the question is, do we want to do this with this library? Do we want to do this or enable the consumer of this to choose if they want to compress or not, right? Or we can just maybe extend it as a I think we should extend it, yeah. Okay, so let's do that. So essentially what we want to do is we want to incorporate this as something potential, right? Do you know Bash? Well, I know it enough for what I need it for. Do I know it well? Well, that's relative. If you compare me to some Bash guru, then absolutely not. I probably suck. Okay, so that's really good, right? So let's extend this. That's beautiful. That's actually not bad at all, right? So handle complete. If you probably I'm better, a little 10% better for sure. 10% better for sure, right? No question about that. Okay, let's imagine this. So let's figure out the props that we want to extend this, right? So if I go here, let's extend our crop with compression as well. And we can have the same prop here as we have for the file input as well, right? Exactly. And I'm 10% better than her. So think about it. 10%. So yeah, so basically here we'll ask a basic question. We're gonna say, hey, is compression enabled? Just before we do that, give me a second. Give me a second. So this does indeed give us a blob, right? So that would be the inconsistency now that we would have, right? This does return a blob. So it would be kind of inconsistent, right? But we could make a step back and then have another prop where a consumer of this can choose, do they want a base64 or a blob, right? All right, let's not do this now. I need to sleep over it. I mean, I'm not going anywhere now, but let's not make that decision yet. I don't know if I want that. So that's why this is the project that I recently built. Nice, man. Let me see. Let me just take a look at it on a different screen because there's a bunch of trolls on this platform, so I may need to make sure that you didn't send me something that's not. Talk to PDF. Yeah. So what did you? Yeah, I've built this recently. We built this recently at my work in a hackathon. Yes, we built this using. We built that same thing using LangChain and Vertex AI. So we built our own agent. Yep. We've had a hackathon for 2 days, so we built a bunch of cool things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, Cloudflare also has that, right? Well, we didn't use OpenAI. We use GCP Vertex AI, but it's the same thing, right? Cloudflare AI has. I think they even have that exact same example that you've sent. Let me just find it. What did I try? I tried to push something, but it failed. What did I try to push? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, anyway, so if we go to, where is it? Oh, that's not what I actually want. Yeah, here it is, AI, right? So even Cloudflare now supports some LLMs, right? Large language models. And I think that even here they have a PDF example. Nah, maybe not. Text embeddings, Llama translation, text generation, text to image, text generation, automatic speech recognition. But yeah, but a talk to my PDF is a very common. It's a very common use case now if you're building your first agent, whatever. Absolutely, but very nice, man. Very good. That's the future for sure. So what you built is great, for sure, definitely. Okay, so this is super cool. You can actually see, so you can see the problem here, right? So the main reason why I think we will actually have to crop here, right? Let me show you the issue, right? Because, thank you very much for the follows, appreciate it. If we get over here, right? No, forget, where the hell is the story, man? Over here, right? So if we have two things that we're logging now. Whenever we drag the image, and then when that drag finishes, we print it, right? So look at this now. Shit, it would be nice if I can see the size of this now. But it's 43 kilobytes, right? Right now it's 43 kilobytes, right? What the fuck? How is this possible? What? Yeah, so we'll definitely need compression. As you can see basically now that it's a little bit random, right? You can see here it says 64 kilobytes. If I reduce this crop to a minimum, right now it's 17 kilobytes, right? So you can see basically that eventually when, so we need to apply compression to this image here in the back, right? Because if I select the whole image, those two images now pretty much almost have the same size, right? Can you give me some advice on how to land a job? Unfortunately, man, nobody can give you that advice, right? The only way you can get a job is to keep building things, to keep... It's a very saturated market today, man. And for you juniors, it's going to be a very difficult time because the AI is here. A lot of people, you know, saw the money in this industry. They thought they can capitalize on that, and some will. But you have to network, you have to just be better than others. You have to build things which are more catchy than others. It's really a competition game now, right? 3-4 years ago, if you did that, it was a lot easier. Today, it's a little bit tougher on you guys. I actually feel for you a lot. But there isn't a secret that I can tell you that, right? The best I can tell you is if you live in some area where you can go to meetups, meet people in person, network, there's nothing that beats networking. If you don't know people, if you don't have connections, it's going to be very difficult, right? So build the connections, right? Let me maybe just help you with let me review your thing here. I don't think that this is your expertise, man. There's no chance that you know all this. I'm sorry. You don't know all this. So you should actually write 1 or 2 things that you realistically actually know, right? Because if you know all of this and you don't have a job, then something's off, right? So don't put this crap here, because you know, and everybody knows that you don't know all this. Nobody knows this. There's no person on the planet who knows this. Right? So this is useless information. What do you mean you know Rust and Python and Node and Go? What does that mean? Know what? Right? That's completely unrealistic, right? So remove that crap. Remove this crap as well, right? You don't know this. You don't know this. This is what you know. This is what you know a little bit. You have built 3 simple applications with a CSS and React and TypeScript. That's maybe what you know, right? This, Rust, Go, Web3, Python, come on, man. You don't know that. So, I mean, I'm a huge realist, right? I mean, this stream, people who watch this stream, I don't give a shit about, right? So don't do this, man. This is bullshit CV. That's what I can tell you. So remove this, put stuff that you actually know, and this is what you know. You know a little bit of stuff. You've used some third-party libraries to build a few of those examples, and that's what you know, right? I've been programming for 16 years professionally. So I started my work, if you go to my LinkedIn, I started working 16 years ago. And I don't know stuff that you wrote. I don't know stuff that you said that you know. And you've been coding what, for 1 year? Yeah, you've been coding for 1 year barely, right? And you know all of that. I mean, unless you are some prodigy, some wonder kid who was born, right? Don't do that. You don't know this, man. So, yeah. And when any sane, experienced person sees your CV, they will know that you don't know this, right? Okay, so, but this is an advice for everybody. Put the stuff on your CV that you actually know, not that you've tried, read a Udemy article for 3 minutes. Nobody gives a shit about that. If I put every single technology that I used past 16 years, I would have a 34 pages CV, but I don't do that. I put what I'm actually good at, what I can do and bring value with now, not what I used 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I'm not, stuff that I did 16 years ago in my job are not in my CV past 15 years because they're obsolete, they're irrelevant, right? The projects that I worked are relevant because they have some experience. So yeah, stop with the bullshit, man. Alrighty, that's how it is. That's how it is. So yeah, and there's the last thing, just the last thing with this thing before we can round it up. So you can see that depending on what type of image you choose, and it's the same in Programmer Network. If I go to production now, right? And if I go, let me just take a look at one thing. Okay, that's good. So if I go over here and then choose a file, right? Depending on the size of the image that I choose right now, it kind of changes, right? So that's really bad, right? So you can see this image is bigger if I go and choose a wallpaper here, right? So we need to constrain the max width of the actual image that you have selected so you can pick something from it, right? So let's try that, right? So let's go to our thing that I built, image crop, yeah. Crop area class name, yeah, so it's this one, right? So it basically is the one that I just removed. So let's say here max width, let's say max width 600, or actually let's say, yeah, let's say yeah, something like that, right? Okay. Okay. So something like that, right? We could use a height and width as well, and then simply and then use view, like, yeah, but yeah, I think that's, and let's just remove this background here. All right, cool. But let me try one thing. So instead of saying max width, do this, and then how was it? BG cover or some shit like that, right? Yeah, I don't think so, no. Okay. Yeah, so that's not terrible, right? I think the only thing that we still need is basically the compression on the left thing, right? Because I think still it's not really compressing the thing in the right, the preview thing, right? Cropped image, you can see the size, right? As I reduce the size, but it's still too large, right? So for example, so look at this. So this is now, so this thing now is 40 kilobytes, right? That's too large. This is, yeah, this is kilobytes, right? Yeah. But so we need to compress that a lot more, right? And if I actually print this thing here instead, yeah, it's super strange, man. It's still like, yeah, I don't get it, man. It's still so large. But let's try to set quality to 0.5. Codespace, good evening, buddy. Let's try to reduce the quality of the image, right? So let's get here again. Thank you, everybody, for the follows. Appreciate it. So right now it's super small. Right now it's like 1 kilobyte or something, right? I'm just open sourcing programmer networks like UI components, right? You can actually click, you see on top of this chat, there's the link. I'm just basically open sourcing the, you know, stuff that we have in production, all of this stuff. Well, and I hope you guys can actually sign up. Nobody actually, this stream has signed up yet. Okay, so let's see now. So now we're talking. Now look at this, 3 kilobytes, right? That's really good. That's really good. Of course, we have reduced the quality to 50%. So let's increase that to like 70%. We don't need to go super crazy, but we also don't want to host large images for no reason, right? If it's an avatar that's 100 by 100, it should be literally as small as possible, right? So this is 7 kilobytes now. So you can see it here, you can barely see the difference, right? Like when it's 200 by 200, right? Let's choose some other image quickly. Maybe. This one was large, right? Shit. Network. Oh, this is not going to be there. Let's see. 10 kilobytes, right? Yep. 6 kilobytes. So that's really good. That's what I want, right? That is great. So we can see now, and you can see that it's, I mean, it's, you can barely see any difference, right? When the image is smaller, you can see that it's maybe slightly bluer, I think. But you can see here in the bottom, 6 kilobytes, 3 kilobytes, right? Blah, blah, blah. If I would up this to quality to 1, right? Then it's going to be different, right? If we do this again, right? How can I, yeah. No, shit, I can't. All right, never mind. So let's basically reduce that to like 70% quality so it gets compressed, and that's awesome. I like that. Yeah, 2 kilobytes. Beautiful. Super. That's what we want. Yep. All right, so let's do something with this now a bit, and I think that's great. Can we write tests for this? Yeah, writing tests for those 2 components. I mean, everything else is fully tested. Testing this stuff would be a little bit harder, right? This thing would be a little bit harder because this would basically need to be an end-to-end test. So I don't think we're gonna do that. Let me try to find something super large like this guy. I go to my GitHub, give me a second. How do they do things here? If I click this, edit, upload photo, you do this, right? Okay. I think they're using almost the same component, more or less, right? All right. Just want to try something else. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, this is my ex-colleague. Elvis and I worked together at Airtame like maybe 5 years ago. He's a very good engineer, one of the best I met. Very good engineer, very pragmatic. Okay, well, yeah, so the only unclear thing here, right, is that, yeah, it kind of sucks when, so maybe we should also show the model, right? So when you do this, maybe we should also spawn the model in your face. I don't actually know. We spawn the model. What happened here now? Yeah, so it's not good yet. So we need to stretch the image somehow, right? Yeah, I have worked at Airtame for almost 3 years, yes. You're second best, exactly. So I think, yeah, so I think if we go to the stories again, so we have to basically set the same min, right? Yeah, that's a little bit weird, right? But I'm gonna say min width 600 pixels, right? We have to keep the aspect ratio somehow, right? Yeah, okay, so that's I think what GitHub does as well, right? They keep the min width, right? So that window, right, that spawns there essentially always is the same, right? So they have probably max and min width to be the same. We can actually inspect that. Thank you very much for the follows, guys. Appreciate it. So if I do this, right, let's inspect what they have. They either have contained this modal to be limited in width. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. And I swear that they're using the same library as I'm using now. Let's see the computed properties here. Do they have width? Max width. Yeah, exactly. So you can see they have max width as well. And then they have the width from mobile, right? So, okay, so they have the max width and then they have the width, right? So, right, it makes sense. Oh, nice, man. Nice draft. Yeah, I worked at the Airtame. It's one of the best places I worked at. It was really fun. We built some crazy things. There. What's happening with this now? Wait, I think we're probably getting an error that I'm not showing in this specific example. Let's see. Wait, let's go to the story. Where is it? Input stories. No, image input. Is this one the one? Yeah. Is there like on error? What did I implement? Shit. Jesus Christ. On error. Yeah, okay. Let's try that. Super weird. Okay, what? Oh no, I'm passing this thing to the wrong place. Yeah, sorry. Wrong place. It's the image input that we need. That's where we're gonna get the error, right? On validation error. Yep. Let's just say console log. There we go. Okay. Invalid file type. Only image file types are allowed. Okay, so that's a little bit scary because this is an image, so our meme type function that I wrote most likely isn't extracting the Jesus Christ, man, come on. Fucking annoying, dude. Are you kidding me? Window management. What is the type of this basement dweller? Oh, it's WebP. Okay. So it's the WebP image. I see. Okay. It's WebP, which means if we go to image utils, right? Here we're extracting So we would need to basically, yeah. So let's not support WebP for now anyway, right? Because then we have to, and it's fine, right? So yeah, that's not terrible. That's okay, right? I mean, maybe it would be nice that we also show this in a modal, right? But so this is just a story now, so I leave this to people to implement it however they want. Yeah. Thank you very much for the follows, appreciate it. All right, so that's not terrible at all, actually, I think. But just for the sake of this example here, the story, let's say here, error. And how was the error? How did I think the error interface that I built was very nice. No, let's actually try the format. Yeah, so reason and message, so that's great. So let's just say here, yeah. Message, and we're gonna say set error message massage, and then let's just say yeah, right. So now if I do this, only file images are allowed, and we'll need to do more work there, I think, probably. This also WebP. This is JPEG, okay. And then yeah, what motivated you to work on this project? It's a good question. I don't actually know. I don't think that I'm not really led by motivation necessarily. Motivation is overrated, right? Because if we purely follow motivation, in most cases we don't achieve anything, right? Because the premise that in order to do something you have to be motivated is false, right? Or at least people should try to make it false. So I don't know, it's a good question. I mean, I would genuinely like that there is a platform for developers that's awesome, right? That's really one of the main things. That's the main reasoning behind it. I genuinely despise. I don't have Facebook for 15 years, right? Or I don't have Twitter. I never had it. And I think those platforms are inherently just huge waste of time. So that was the initial motivation. I wanted to build a platform literally for myself, right? But motivation, you know, and inspiration changes. You have to rediscover yourself all the time. If you expect that your motivation is always be a constant, that usually leads to the fact that mostly that's why people never build anything, right? Because you assume that you're constantly going to be motivated, right? That's a very dangerous way to live. Very dangerous. So, yeah. No, I mean, well, I've been with my wife, you know, I'm 35 and we've been together since I was 20, she was 19. So, you know, 15, 16 years. And I mean, it's all just common sense if you find a person who is also rational, right? I mean, nothing in life is constant, right? You have to put in the effort and rediscover yourself constantly, no matter what it is. It can be marriage or work or whatever. You cannot have expectations which are unrealistic, you know, because it's just leads you to complete failure up front. You set yourself up for failure, right? So that's why I say motivation consistency is the most important characteristic in people, right? So yeah. So motivation comes and goes, and you have to keep yourself motivated, and you keep yourself motivated by showing up and building things. When I go and when I wake up every time and every day, and there's people who signed up at Programmer Network and stuff, that's very motivating, right? For example, that's kind of nice to see that at least somebody wanted to check it out, right? Even if they never come back again. So in a way, you have to put yourself in a place where you can get motivated, and in order to do that, you have to overcome the time when you have nothing to show for, right? And that's the hardest time. That's also the time where most people give up. In order to build anything in production for real, it takes a lot of effort, knowledge, time, etc., right? No matter, even if it's a to-do app that has one functionality, even if you want to build that and put it in production and make sure it's secure and that and blah blah blah, right? So in order to be, it's kind of paradox in a way, almost, right? But yeah, so we can, I guess, push this already, this progress we made. This fucking bit of cache, man, like, it's annoying. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Before I do that, are all tests passing? Yes. Let's run the lint and stuff just so we can see. Okay, that's good. Format. Is there something to format? Just in case. No. Okay. Let's push that. Push that. Go to this link that I shared with you guys on top of this chat that you're looking at. And let's go to the actions. Let's wait until this is deployed. All right, let's see. Pushing to master. So yeah, in the next couple of streams, maybe 2 streams from now, we're gonna publish this to npm, and then you guys can also, those of you who wanted to contribute to Programmer Network, you'll be able to do it. Let's see what failed here. Linting failed in image crop stories. Okay, let's fix that. That's a little bit weird. That shouldn't be happening, but Programmer Network image crop scores. Oh shit, this one failed. Okay, wow. What? Oh, I see. That's actually very true, because this is basically crop now. So yeah, I see. So this is actually correct that we forgot to update this, right? Because all of these guys now are falling under crop, basically, right? So it should be like this, right? Yeah. Fair enough. Here, circular shit. Yeah, blah blah. Okay. Types. No, never mind. Screw it. All right, let's just make sure that all of them pass so we don't get this red little thing here. Try that again. Any questions, by the way? Anyone needs help with something, opinions, while we're waiting for this? Especially new people. Especially new people. Actually, why I never share this? Let me just share this in production. This is what we are building past couple of streams. Just FYI, basically open sourcing. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, that kind of sucks. We need to improve that. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. Actions. Okay, so that's good. Let's see if it's deployed to our if we go to image input and then with image crop, so you guys can also of course try it out if you want. But now, yeah, okay, good. So it is there. Cool. Okay. And I think we should probably do this in a modal, so we should then compose a component that's mostly going to be for programmer network, but I think I'll compose something like GitHub has, right? So I think I'm going to compose something pretty much like, yeah, like this, right? So I think we're going to do something similar. So you're going to do this, and then you're going to get this modal. Yeah. The only exception is going to be that, yeah, maybe we'll still support this preview so you can actually see what you're selecting. But yeah, I think we're going to do something like this. I like that. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, maybe before we round up for today, maybe let's just do this and then... I think that should be fine, right? Yeah. All right, so yeah, so this is what I've been doing, I believe. Where's the drop down? Drop down. Ah, what? Ah, this is production, sorry. So this is localhost, right? Let's run that again. Yes. Yeah, here it is, okay. So how far did I get with that? Or did I get anywhere actually? Let's see. Just close a bunch of this crap. Drop down. Ah, okay, so I would actually need to install this. So pmpmi, Hopper core. And then I assume we want to do pmpm dash I dash D types, right? In case they have them like that. Maybe they, okay, that's good. That's great. Yeah, that's a little bit weird, but okay. So let's get back here. And yeah, here it is. Okay, so that's, yeah, sure. So let's zoom in into that. Yeah, exactly, because as some of you said, right, Luigi and that logo was Nintendo, right? So I didn't want to get in trouble. Right? Okay, so let's go to my front end here. Hooks use click outside. I think we'll need this hook to make this work properly, right? So how am I using this in programmer network right now? We have some input ref, sure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this fella. I'm gonna copy paste it. Let's go to Jean Code Van Debug, my LLM, large language model. This is my custom ChatGPT model. Let's say here, turn this into TypeScript. Yeah, that's why I just named it yet another interface library. Cool. All right, let's go to jail. And we need to figure out, maybe we should call it jail. Just another interface library. Who knows? Let's come here and say use click outside. Ah, shit. We wanted to create a folder, but let's try that once again. So try again. Use click outside. Is that the greatest name? Who knows? But it's the name that I memorized, so for me it's great. Okay. Then if I go to my programmer network thing, another piece of shit. Honestly, that's not a bad idea, for sure. Right? Okay, so let's mimic what I did. I wrote so much code that I don't remember all of this crap, to be honest with you. I don't remember this crap, so. What is YARP? Yet another Raspberry Pi? This name is not inspired by anything. I started doing this like 3-4 days ago, so this name is just, like most names, it just comes out of my brain. Oh, reverse proxy. I haven't used YARP. I'm mostly just using Nginx for that sort of stuff. So yeah, actually, yeah. I never used YARP. Is there HTML div element? Seriously, okay. Let's call this drop down ref. Let's try. Right, assuming that I did it right, let's go here, and if I click outside it should close, right? Yeah, so this is our custom, our own drop down, right? So just a little bit better than the one we have in production now, basically. This one. All right, cool. All right, I like that. That's great. I like this component. So let's see what else can we do with it now. It's a very simple thing so far. It's just a button that spawns some children, right? So this dropdown is very kind of composable. So I didn't render any list inside of it or anything like that, right? It's the consumer that has to provide the actual contents of the dropdown. Now, do we want that? Well, I think we want both. For programmer network, obviously not gonna have 700 different dropdowns, right? So maybe we can have a default one, and then if children is provided, then a user can do that, right? So let's move this fella like there and figure out how we want to do this, right? How we want to make this component so it's reusable. So what we can do, I guess, here we can create another component. Maybe let's call it default dropdown. The TSX, right? And here we'll say export const, or just that we're gonna say const default dropdown. And yeah, we'll return this, right? And then obviously it's gonna take some options, some items, options, whatever, right? So here we'll say fc for functional component, and we're gonna say options, and then we'll say, gonna say options, and then we're gonna say that's an array of something, right? So let's build it simple initially, and then we'll see. But essentially here, what can an option have? A value, I guess, or something like that, right? So maybe an icon, which is gonna be a React, I guess node React node. And then maybe value, which is going to be string or something. We'll see, right? I don't know. Let's not lose our mind with that. Let's export default. That, right? Yeah. Right. And then, yeah, we can just localize this list item here to this component. So let's call it const dropdown, whatever, list item. Oh, really, but it's fine. And then here we'll just return the list item itself, which is gonna have, I guess, pretty much the same thing here, right? So, and then we'll clean this up. So you're gonna say interface, EI drop down list item, something like that, right? And then here we'll say this. Okay, cool. And yeah, this is gonna then have an icon, right? Icon, a value. Then here we go. Value. For now, let's just set something, right? Let's just do something, so it's fine. Cool. And now when we obviously loop through this stuff here, we'll loop through the options, right? So let's say, yeah, pretty much, sure. And here we'll say options, and we'll say key is equal to, let's say that key is yeah, the option dot value of whatever. Something like that. Okay, so this would be our default one. You can see we're not going to export this. We want it to be this private to this thing. Let's just call it like that. Yeah, okay, cool. Now let's go to stories, right? And let's call this one with children. This is the one. So basically, again, we want to build this drop down in a way that you can provide your own drop down, like as I am now, or use the default one. For programmer network, I'm always gonna almost use the default one, but yeah. And yeah, so let's so let's grab this fella. Let's do here and let's say default drop down, and we should actually probably put this on the top, right? So default. Should actually put this story right over here, right? We need to go back here, right? And we have to so basically here we're gonna either have the children. So if there's children, you know, well, render the children. Otherwise, default drop down, right? Nope. Hi, Alex. I'm currently working as a PM, project manager or product manager, just to be more. Came to the IT development for analytics, and I'm a bit struggling to understand and cover the system design. Could you suggest any research deep dive into the topic? My goal is to better deliver the developers for this. Ooh, but why would you need to provide system design related things to developers? That makes no sense. Why would you be the one doing that? And good evening to you as well. As far as I understand, you're asking. I mean, would it be useful to you to know some tech stuff, right? Yes, but you shouldn't be the one designing technical systems, right? That's not your job. Don't take me wrong, let's just have a discussion. I'm not saying that you should. I mean, I'm not neglecting. Any knowledge is a good thing, right? It's just I want to get more context. So why do you think that, you know, it's your job to design systems for them? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I get what it's complaining about. I mean, is that great? Well, I don't actually know. All right, so yeah, so essentially over here now for this one, we want to omit the children, right? If we omit the children, then yeah, and then we can pass options, right? What? Did we not find the right thing? Yeah, I am. Okay, that's a little bit weird. Drop down props, yes. Ah, I see, okay. If I say value foo, if we go here, yeah, we have the foo, cool. So that would be the default one. If we go and add an icon, if I come here and say icon, and then we say what is it? Give me a second. Which icon can I think about? I don't know, icon share. Thank you very much, everybody, for your follows. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Look, I mean, as always, right? I mean, I'm streaming because I want to help people and stuff like that. It's just, again, I mean, I'll just share my personal opinion, and then I will give you some resources, of course, because at the end of the day, that's what you ask. But again, I don't think that makes no sense, right? Your job, you're not somebody who never built or architected a system cannot be the one who's drawing the systems. That's so dangerous, and so I cannot. Please don't take this as an offense. I know that this has nothing to do with you, so I'm not. But allowing a person to design a system or suggest it as someone who's never done it is like allowing a coach, a football coach, to train a team who's never played football, right? I mean, it makes no sense. You cannot share experience that you don't have, right? That is the huge cancerous part of this community, and those influencers and YouTube and Twitter and stuff. Most of those people don't write code, but then they teach others how to do it, right? Because it's theoretically, it's so easy. So it's just, I have to emphasize that that's not what you should be. You cannot read a book on system design and design a system, right? It doesn't work like that, right? Because if that's all that was necessary, then all of us would be experts. We would just read a book or two and we would be designing systems, right? You need to have some experience building those things, knowing what goes wrong, when it goes wrong, right? So it's, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying this, it's not strange that you want to learn this. That's completely fine. For me, what's strange is that your boss would allow you to read a book and then make technical decisions. I mean, I've never heard that, and I've been working very long, right? I've never heard that. But if you want the system level design books, there's really only two of them. There's only two of them that you really need to read, and I can give you a resource as well. So there are two books on that, really, that all pretty much that you're gonna need. Where is it? What is it called, this guy? Give me a second. They are actually relatively recent. Wait. So yeah, this is the first one, and then there's this is the first version, right? I think there's a second. Yeah. This is the book, and then the author, which is Alex Xu or whatever, this guy runs the most popular newsletter, and this newsletter is all about system design stuff. It's called Byte Newsletter, this one. If you are really under pressure to learn this, because again, I find that ridiculous, but if you are, this is probably the best resource on the internet right now for learning design system stuff. This guy releases, but again, one thing is writing crap, writing diagrams and saying how great things should be. Another thing is building things, right? That's why I say it's so much easier to say things than do them, right? We're all of us are great influencers. We can all say the right things, the correct things. We all know how perfect software should be, but that's just easy sitting on LinkedIn and writing crap, right? So that's why I'm saying be very careful that not by no means at no point that you misunderstand that just because you read some of this and it makes sense that you have any idea about it, right? Because building it is one thing, right? It's just, again, being a good architect, being a good engineer, right? is all about experience. It's not about reading diagrams and then talking about that, because everybody is good. I have juniors here coming for a year and they know stuff, they know terms, they read a blog, they get influenced on YouTube. But when I ask them what did they build, they never built anything, right? So that's a huge difference. It's easy to talk about things, right? Oh, have you seen this library? Or have you seen this language? Oh, you should write Rust, right? But no one does anything. That's the huge difference, right? So one thing is to talk about programming, and another thing is to actually show for something, right? What the hell did you ever build actually, right? Because we can all just talk crap all the time, right? Scandra, exactly, man. And where's the catch is what you gain with experience, right? Yeah, but again, the only way to learn is to do, right? And that's truly where experience helps you, right? Because reading books and stuff is one thing, because if reading books meant that you're gonna become a great software engineer, then all the students out of university, they would be experts. And all the students out of university, most of them suck. All of us suck. That's normal, right? What does that tell you? Well, that tells you that without experience, without actually building things, everything is all just bullcrap, right? Okay, that's yeah, sure. That's not terrible. It's just writing some stories here. And this is not questionable, right? Like, no, it's probably not. Okay, cool. Let's leave it like that. It doesn't matter. Again, it's just building the components themselves. So yeah, I think generally that's already very good. Very simple one. So the only thing basically I did with this component, I used the popper, and the popper basically is the library that just dynamically positions your element so it doesn't go off screen and stuff, right? So this is really all you need to build a solid drop down, right? See, it's super simple. 50 lines. The trick is in the actual positioning, right? Because it's building a super simple drop down is actually very simple, like everything else, until you need to deal with offsets and things not going off screen, right? So this thing basically helps you with that. So it does things like this, right? You can like see, etc., right? So you can see how it dynamically now calculates, hey, I'm hitting probably the offset, it's probably accounting the viewport and the scroll positioning and stuff. So yeah, it's quite a clever little thing, and with this thing you can really build anything that yeah. Okay, that's super good. Yeah, absolutely, man. I fully get you. More power to you, man. You know what they say, hands down, right? So I respect what you're doing. By no means I'm saying that. I just think that it's unfortunate that you're being put in such place where you have to act. That's, I don't know. Again, it's very dangerous to just let someone suddenly make technical decision in your own company. I mean, right? Website is up. What do you mean you can't access it? If you're seeing maybe a blank screen, probably that means you need to hard refresh. Maybe at one point long ago in time you visited it, but because website is always up. The uptime is like almost 100%. But I think if you hard refresh, yeah, most likely maybe you visited this thing before. Yeah, if you hard refresh, if you F5 or whatever, that should fix it. I should probably see that in the logs that you got an error. Give me a sec. No, I don't see it. But yeah, if you hard refresh, you should be good. All right, where we? Okay, so this is honestly good. Let's generate some tests for this. So let's use our obviously ChatGPT for that. Works now. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go to my Jean Code Van Debug. Where is my Jean Code Van Debug? Over here. Let me actually go to, where was it? Types mismatch, Louis Gui here, yeah. I'll just prime it and then we generate tests for this. Even the components and the stories generate the tests. One of the best things for that the large language models help us is doing this type of stuff. Nobody likes writing those tests initially manually. This is so amazing. We're gonna adjust them. We're gonna make sure that it wrote all the tests we want. Maybe not, but we can then write the remaining ones. But so beautiful, so beautiful. Okay, let's go here and say dropdown.test.tsx. They're probably gonna fail now. Let's see. Yeah, so let's comment them out one by one and then make them pass. So it basically just generated 2 of them, right? I suppose so, right? You mean the model that I made? Yeah, I made this one public, yes. I can give it to you maybe. I think I made it public. Wait, let me check. Because in case if I understood the question, you mean, but yeah, this one is public, yeah. Try to open it. I did make it public. And you can see it says by Programmer Network, so I kind of created it, yes. And I have another one for my business inquiries and stuff. This is my virtual co-founder, as I called it. Seems to open fine. Beautiful. Super. Okay. So what did I want to do? Oh yeah, tests, right? Sorry, I completely lost it. Oh. Where is it? Yeah, here. So we have to fix this bad boy. Children is missing. Well, technically, yeah. So let's fix under quotes. Let's ensure, yeah, children is not actually mandatory. So that's one thing. All right. So okay. So that's passing. Let's see what is the test that this fella wrote. So button content click me. Open update. Very good test. Very good test. So basically, it triggered the drop down and then said, hey, is foo inside the document? It is. Okay, click it again. Did it close? It did. Okay, very good. So you can see how smart Jean Code Van Debug is. This test is also passing. Renders custom children property. Right, the snapshot test as well. That's a bit strange. Okay, clean that up. I need to prime it a bit better. Sometimes it's just a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit too verbose. talking to the bot as if it was a human. I see. Okay. I see. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Sure. Okay, let's try that. I would never do that. I would never write, I mean, Programmer Network project is not open source, at least not yet, right? Maybe one day, who knows? Never say never. But I would never give any tool access to my whole code, right? That scares me a bit, right? So I interface with it exactly. So the way that what I'm doing right now is generally how I use it, right? But can you do it? Yes, you can do it. Yes, for sure. But the question is, should you do it, right? Okay, so this is what it initially did, I suppose, right? Yeah. I wonder how good the local open source. I mean, honestly, I don't know, right? I mean, this costs 25 euros, right? So to be very frank with you, right, it's free. I mean, 25 euros is what is to say, right? So I don't honestly care, right? I never really bothered, right, to check, right? Yeah, but I mean, so I'm with you, right? I don't know. I haven't, to be genuinely honest with you, I haven't yet developed. I mean, I've been paying for ChatGPT since February, if I recall. Let me check. And so I've been using it for a very long time, honestly, relative to maybe some other people, because I got the access also relatively early, right? So yeah, you can see that I've been, yeah, so I'm using it since February, right? So it's gonna be soon a year, right? And I don't know, so far I've been following the news about the privacy and stuff, and I haven't seen anything yet that scared me, right? We like define this outside or something. I've heard that output of Copilot has gotten worse. Honestly, I haven't noticed that. No. Yeah, to be honestly, yeah, I don't know. To be very frank with you, I will say that I haven't noticed that, right, myself. But yeah, I can only share my experience. Honestly, I haven't experienced that myself. So could that be true? Absolutely, but it's not something that I've noticed. No. The thing is, as I always say, right, us human race, we are fundamentally at our core ungrateful, right? I often ask some people, how quickly could you go from miracle to, oh my god, this thing sucks, it didn't give me the exact thing that I wanted in 2 seconds, right? The thing is, for me, it's about staying humble and appreciating things, right? ChatGPT, Copilot, a year ago we didn't have that. So whenever you are in doubt if it's worth it or if it's good, just think about the times when you didn't have it and how much time it took to browse the Google Stack Overflow, right? It's just us as a human race, we kind of suck, right? So we're very easily, like none of us have actually contributed zero to any of these wonders, and yet it takes us around 3 seconds to start complaining about it. I don't know, that's just how I see it, right? So for me, Copilot, ChatGPT, it's literally a miracle, right? Those large language models and stuff is one of the greatest things we had past, I don't know, few decades, right? That's basically how I see it, right? It's just we are as a race very ungrateful, right? I remember half a year ago or more, people coming to this stream is like, oh my god, this thing sucks, I gave it a question and it didn't respond to it immediately, right? I'm using it actively since February, as you saw, and I'm still amazed to this day as I was the first day, because it's so good. It's so good, right? You know, I have very limited time to build this platform, right? Because I have a full-time job and a kid and a wife and all of that. And I feel like I have another person employed doing this with me, right? Because I can build this platform, 2 hours a day, and yet it's live and it's, you know, it has more than 1,000 users and stuff, and all that, honestly, I must give credit where it's due. ChatGPT has helped a lot, right? Because it saved me a lot of time, the time that I don't have, right? Okay, so this seems to be fine. Drop-down tests are passing, yeah, okay. No, that's not what I wanted. I do have it, but I'm not using it. I just didn't get it under my, yeah, but I do have it, yes. I mean, Copilot and stuff is paid by my company. Dream Data, where I work, they're paying for that. Everybody is, man, everybody is. It's crazy. There's, of course, I mean, large language models worry me a lot, right? They worry me a lot in a way that we don't know what intellectual impact they're gonna have on us, right? Because we can clearly see. So I'm not worried about jobs or anything like that. That doesn't worry me 1%. What I'm actually worried is that we're gonna become highly dependent on those things, because you see, play one game, right? One of the greatest things of becoming a great software engineer throughout the years was exactly the things that you don't have to do now, which is skip the research, right? And that worries me. That worries me because I don't know what impact that's going to have on us, and I don't think that anybody knows, right? So it's like, how intellectually affected are we going to become by this thing, right? Because we're going to become inherently lazy, right? Instead of thinking even, you're just going to go and say, how do I do this, right? Yeah, for sure. So Nick, I agree 100% with you, and I think those are kind of slightly different types of concerns, right? So you get what I mean. So that's even worse, maybe, right? But I think fundamentally what I'm worried about is that our researching skills, our problem-solving skills are actually gonna, and I'm not saying this is true, I'm just saying I'm hoping this doesn't happen, because the whole thing that Play One Game just said, oh, I no longer have to go and search and think, what effect is this gonna have on us intellectually, and right, maybe it's gonna have a great effect, which I hope so, I've hoped for, but I'm a little bit worried, right? Because, you know, that was the part of the job. The part of the job was discovery, debugging, this and that. And now, you know, you have an issue, you go to the bot and you just paste that shit and it solves it for you, right? Yeah, exactly. But think about it. For example, let me tell you one thing. I work as a tech lead, right? And and in my few previous other jobs, I was also a team lead, right? And as any sort of manager or mentor, you need to let people fail, right? Because if you don't let them fail, and when I say fail, I mean in a good way, you cannot solve every problem for a junior, because that person is never gonna actually learn anything, right? So that's what I'm talking about, right? So right now, as you said, everybody has, exactly, right? So now everybody has that expert with them, right? So it's like, you know, when do you fail, right? When do you fail? That's the thing. Nom, good evening, buddy. So that's just how it is. We don't know, right? I think the scariest things about LLMs and you know, large language models and stuff like that is that we don't know anything. That's probably the scariest. Nobody, not you and I, nobody on the planet understands yet what impact this is going to have on all levels of society, right? I mean, what is to say, right? We'll see, right? We'll see how it goes, but the unknown, it's so unknown, right? We don't know anything. How is it going to affect everybody, right? Okay, before we round up for today, let's just do one more thing with this thing. So this is low, yeah. So one thing that we haven't done is that on click, right? That's not good. I don't know, just for now. Let's see. Oh, no, yeah. Thank you very much, everybody, for your follows. Appreciate it. This is just preliminary. Another string, we can kind of ensure that that's what we want, but I think that's okay. But then another thing we really want to do, right, as well is yeah, default dropdown. Yes. So if we go over here, right, let's say something like this: const handle item. Click. Yeah. What the hell is this music, man? I'm a metalhead. I don't just too much. No. Come on, man. Enough. Stop it. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, man. Okay. Whew. Terror for my brain. Okay. So if we go back here, so we can say, hey, on click, and then give it this bad boy here. And then we do this, right? Nothing's happening. Why? Am I using ChatGPT? Yes, a lot. Yes, absolutely. I'm using ChatGPT a lot. Yes. Ah, that's why. Okay. We're not running Storybook. Program Mr. B tick. Okay, I don't know what that tick means. I'm more of a boomer or even worse, right? So I don't know those terminologies, but I'll take that as a compliment for sure. I'll take the tick as a compliment. Okay, so this and yeah, so we do this and then eventually, right? PHAT, pat. Yeah, I don't know the terminology, but I respect it, right? If it's good, then it's great. If you're telling me to fuck myself, well, fuck you too, right? Super simple. No hard feelings here. You know, I know that my son is gonna troll me like that very soon. It's like, hey dad, how about you fuck yourself? And I'm like, what does that mean? Well, that's what it is. You should use all the tools that you have on your disposal. It's not a matter of morality. It's not a matter of thing. You have to be logical, right? There has never been anything in human history that we had access to make our life easier that we didn't use. That's like saying I'm not gonna take public transport to work because it's healthier to walk, right? So Big Blaster, it's not a matter of choice. It's a matter of you must use it. If you don't use it, you will fall behind. Your productivity is going to be worse than someone else's, right? So unfortunately, it's not a matter of choice. You cannot say, I'm not going to use AI. I want to be a real programmer. I want to reinvent things all the time. You can try that, but you will fail. And you will not have a job. That's what it is. That's how it is. Yeah, it's great. It's amazing. I agree. 100%. 100%. That's just how it is. We can like it, we can hate it, we can whatever. It's irrelevant. Nobody cares what we think. The factual thing is, if you don't use it, you're gonna get fucked up, right? Yeah, for sure, man. Again, it's not even that I love it or dislike it. I'm a huge realist, right? I'm not a pessimist, optimist. I'm a realist, right? The tool is there, and if you don't use it, someone else will. That's it. That's the oldest. That's where the discussion ends, right? But you get what I mean, Nick. I wish that some things are different? 100%. But when I look at this little kid I have and his mom that I have to feed and, you know, to support the family, I'm no longer thinking about React. I'm thinking, all right, I have to stay competitive and I have to stay ahead of others. That's just how it is when you grow up. You have to pay the bills. You should use it, yes, but you should use it to learn. Absolutely, you should use it, yes, 100%. 100% you should use it, yes. Do I pay for it? Yes, I'm paying since February, yes. Well, I mean, depends what you mean by better, right? What do you mean by better? Why would it be better? I don't think it's better, it's just different syntax, right? It's the same crap. Use one or the other, right? So neither is the better one, right? It's just conditional operator is one of the recent features of the JavaScript, of the ECMAScript language, right? So yeah, that's ChatGPT is so cool. Pros can use it for their advantage, see it as an extra tool. 100%. Same with copywriters. 100%. 100%. Have you encountered people in the tech world that are just so bad technically came into the career for the job? It's hard to define that big blaster, right? Because a lot of people are good at selling themselves, right? So because I'm always very careful about any sorts of comparisons, right? Because I don't know. That's why you will probably notice, Big Blaster, you've been watching my stream for a year. What is bad, right? What is good, right? What is slow? What is fast? So I mean, those are very hard things to define, right? What is a good developer? What is a bad one? What is a good code? What is a bad one, right? Because at the end of the day, if the person who is relatively bad, let's say whatever bad is, we have to define what bad means. But let's imagine you have a bad developer who produces a lot of value. So person maybe doesn't write good code, but writes a lot of it and provides features for customers, businesses growing, companies making money. Then is that person bad, right? Maybe, maybe not, depending who the company is, right? So there is a developer for every level of the organization, right? Sometimes you need an expert, sometimes you need a generalist, sometimes you need a specialist, someone who is very good at just, I don't know, just CSS, right? So this is very different, right? Depending on the company, depending on how, right? Right. So, but what is good, what is bad, right? You're gonna get different responses from different companies, different people, different expectations, right? So it's like, you know, a lot of people here, as I said before, they talk about performance, they talk about scalability, right? But 99.999% of developers never faced scalability issues, never faced performance issues, because on average, an average developer works in some company that has some traffic, has some users. Not everybody, so a minority of developers work for Facebook and, you know, those companies that have large-scale systems. And even in those companies, less than 1% of them actually work on those projects. So when you get a job at Facebook or Google or whatever, it's not that you're solving, right, some world greatest problems. So yeah, I don't know. It's just what is a bad developer, what is a good one, right? It's a more complex discussion in my opinion than you think, right? because it's not just being a good professional isn't just about hard skills, isn't just about writing code. It's about many other things, right? Is Flexbox a must learn? I think everybody should learn CSS really well. If you want to build web pages, you must know CSS. That's just how it is, right? So is knowing Flexbox important? Absolutely. Absolutely, it's important, yes. Ah, shit, I know why, yeah. Long stream, you say? Yeah, right? I didn't expect it to be long, but I'm just enjoying it. I mean, I'm just chilling in. It's quite... there's no, you know, idiots in the stream tonight and stuff talking crap, so it's quite a... And this music is, while it's shitty, I agree fully, it's kind of soothing a bit. So it's, yeah, you get what I mean. What the fuck happened? Shit. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Okay. Yeah, alright. Well, that got messed up, didn't it? Alright. Well, that's what it is. Guys, let's take maybe a few more questions, statements, if any, and let's round it up. I need to go. I need to go to work tomorrow. So does anyone has anything they want to discuss? Yeah, just ask. I'm here, but then I'll have to head off. And then most likely, hopefully we can see each other tomorrow again, but we'll see about that, depending how I feel. Let's do this very quickly, as we always do. Okay, let's take some questions. I think there's some pretty good questions. Let's chat a bit if you guys wish. Otherwise, yeah, up to you. But you have my time now, so I suggest that you ask whatever you want. Okay, let's see what you guys are asking. So let's see. Did your career, a Big Blaster asking, did your career mold your out of the office personality? I love being in the office. I think for me personally, work is not just programming. It's actually work for me is the least amount of work is about programming. It's about my colleagues, my friends. And I think that the greatest products are created when people sit in a room. That's my personal opinion. That's my personal view. I think for your mental health, it's better for you if you're in the office, if you wake up in the morning, take a bike ride, whatever you have to do. Sure, are there exceptions to this rule? Of course, if you live in the middle of nowhere in some shithole and you have to travel to work for 3 hours, but this is an exception for 99.9% of people. So I love being in the office. I love being with people. I love helping people. I love instant communication. I love having lunch with my colleagues. I love stupid jokes. I love having a beer after work. I love all of that. That's why I love work. If I didn't have that, if I was just sitting home and working, then I wouldn't give a shit where I work. I would then just seek more money, because what would be the difference, right? Should I use Next.js with React? If you need server-side rendering, you should. If you don't, you shouldn't. Did you use other ORMs than SQLize for when it comes to Postgres? I have not. That's the only one I've ever used. And I've used some query builders like Next.js and stuff. Have you done native mobile development? Just a little bit with React Native, but not much. What should I use for? Depending what you want to build, I mean, but depending what your focus is, right? You can use Flutter, or you can use React Native. Of course, if you want to build the most native app, right? Right. So depends what your goal is. There are many technologies like Objective-C, I believe, or to say sorry, Swift, whatever is great, right? But I don't know where you are, right? What's your opinion about contributing to open? You cannot contribute to open source projects unless you're using those libraries. I mean, I contribute to libraries almost on a weekly basis, but not because I go and I want to contribute. It's because I find bugs every now and then I do it. So it's very hard. Those advices that people are giving to others is like, oh, just go, and it's very hard to do that. You cannot just randomly open some library and say, let me I mean, you can, but that's waste of time, right? So if you want to gain experience, then build projects, right? If you don't have an idea, open any website on the planet and replicate that website, right? That's as simple as that. I cannot give you Copenhagen average salary. Yeah, you can find this, I think, on the internet very quickly. Yeah, pretty much, Darius, yeah. I've contributed to React, I've contributed to Redux, I've contributed to many libraries throughout my career, not because I wanted. That's certainly not what I want to do. I want to build products. But I did that because just randomly, by using those tools, I found the bugs, and then I did a PR, right? So that's the natural way to contribute, right? It's very hard to open a list of 6,000 issues or 600 or 30 and just randomly start fixing something, right? So build real products, build something that you would want to use. That's the only way to learn. There's no other way to learn. How do you manage fatigue to work full-time and also find time to stream? I don't know, Darius. I mean, it's a good question. It's not that I manage it always perfectly, man. I'm also exhausted at times, right? But I'm very passionate. So I think that my energy and my passion overcomes that, right? Also, you know, when I come from work, I spend some time with my son, with my wife. So I kind of get refreshed from that, right? But it's a good question. I don't know. It's not that it's always easy, right? That's why, you know, every now and then it's nice to see some followers, some subscriber, right? I don't give a shit about money on Twitch. The money I make on Twitch is meaningless. It's hilarious. But getting some recognition often also helps with not getting too tired, let's say, from streaming as well, right? Yeah, I work. I have a regular job full time, and then in the evenings sometimes I'm streaming. Yeah. Do you feel that the situation on the developer market is getting worse? Yes and no. If you apply to companies which are less sexy, you can probably find a job. The problem is a lot of people, they want to build cool things all the time. And yes, in that sense, the market is getting worse. But there are plenty of companies who are not building cool hipster things that are looking for developers. You just have to seek for those. I don't use nodejs. I write Fastify. I'm not a fan of things like nodejs, no. I use patterns to my own advantage, not to my own disadvantage. And things like, that's the reason why AngularJS, why things like Nest are either you love them or hate them. What would you use for languages, for libraries? If you don't need libraries to build website, you can use plain JavaScript. If it's a simple website, you don't need a library. But you can also use React or Vue or Angular or really anything. All of those tools are amazing. They're all super good. Regarding being in the office, I think that some people like the best to work from home, and some people like... Sure, I mean, Drab, again, nothing in life is absolute, right? So that's why I'm always cautious with my words. I'm not saying that this or that is the best for everybody. I do think that for most people, the best and even though you might think one or the other, I think naturally as a human species, we are social beings. Even the fact that we are not outside all the time, when you look at the history of humankind, is strange already, let alone that you have a human being who spends most of his time alone, right? So I think, are there exceptions to this? Of course, we're not all the same, but I think for most people out there, overall, generally, the safest thing for a long-term mental stability and happiness is being with other people. That's why we have families, husbands, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, right? Because we're not meant to be alone, right? That's not healthy for you. True, absolutely, 100%. It depends how old you are as well, right? Older you get, harder it is to, I'm 35, right? I cannot just go to a bar. I mean, I can, but I cannot just randomly go on the street and look for friends, right? When you're younger, when you're 18, 19, 20, you're basically, your whole life is going out and meeting people, right? I'm using Fastify for the backend. I mean, losing much, you should never do anything after work if you don't want to. I mean, I'm not doing this because I have to, right? I have no financial or any other gain from this except fun, right? So it's not that I stream every night, I stream whenever I feel like. If I don't feel like streaming next 10 days, I'm not gonna stream. I put no pressure on me, right? So don't by no means think that this stream is kind of somehow suggesting that you should code after work. There's a million times better things to do after work than write code, and that's why I'm doing this while talking to you. So it's a little bit of code and it's a little bit of talking, right? I'm learning some JavaScript. When can I start learning React? It's a very hard question, Burger Phil. I've been writing JavaScript for 15 years, and first 7 years was just plain JavaScript, right? I read the ECMAScript spec back then. Back then, you had to know a lot more stuff. Today, you have all of these amazing libraries and frameworks that abstract away all the things that you had to know before, right? So when, I don't know, it's a good question, but I don't think that I Well, I'm already in the management. I already work as a tech lead, so past couple of jobs were kind of management, yes. I already work as a tech lead, and yeah, probably next job is either going to be my own company or a CTO or something like that, yeah. But I love to code, right? It's just, yeah, it's hard, right, to define sometimes. Sometimes, sometimes you but for the most part at work, I spend, helping others and stuff like that. And that's my main motivation now. That's why I said a couple of minutes ago, as you progress in your career, you have to reinvent yourself. You have to find new motivation. You have to find new interests. You have to seek for things. You cannot just expect that forever you're going to be writing React components and you're going to be going to work thinking, oh my god, I can't wait to build this new button, right? Programming at work doesn't interest me anymore. I don't go to work because of programming. If that was the case, I would quit long ago, right? So because I found different inspiration, right? Because you can do the same thing only up to 1,000,000 times before you're just sick of it, right? So yeah, that's why I say I go because of people. No, my wife, she's a pharmacist. She has master in pharmacy, and my wife is completely disconnected from anything computer related. which is why we're very happy for 15 years we've been together. So I'm sure that one of the reasons is that she has nothing to do with tech. Because if my wife was also technical, I would be a robot so far, probably. My pleasure, man. I mean, that's the beauty, right? That's what inspired me today, right? I used to work as a technical expert at thinkful.com. It's a bootcamp in the US. So I had a lot of students. I used to teach for 5.5 years, and after I stopped that, several years ago, I actually missed it a lot. And that was one of the main reasons why I also started the stream, is because I missed talking to people, right? Imagine your wife would be a Rust engineer. Oh yeah, she would crap on me. Shut the fuck up, you JavaScript noob. You're writing look at him writing JavaScript. Oh no. Yeah, she would probably be something like that. But yeah, exactly. Too many Kenzie Junior, really. I have 1.5 years of experience. But that is the job, right? That is man, shut the fuck up. Oh my god, look at him. It's been like what, a month or two since you've been here. So I think this is one of the things that you don't hear when parents and communities are pushing people to become programmers, right? Because what people often see is money here, money there, money this. But this is a generally very tough job, right? And when I say it's tough, I don't mean that programming is tough. Programming is the easiest part of this job is programming. That is the irony of it. And as you move in your career more and more up the chain, if I may say it that way, you realize that, right? So the easiest thing becomes programming. For example, if I could go to work and just write code, that would be like hilariously easy. But now I have to deal with people. I need to help them. I need to figure out what to do, how to do it, and a million other things, right? So I am always with you in mind. Good to hear, man. How to motivate yourself if your side project was planned to be finished? But you cannot plan those things, right? You just need to do small steps. You cannot plan them, right? You have to, as what I'm doing with Programmer Network. If I was trying to plan things like you, I would have never even started, right? So don't plan. This is kind of probably the advice that you will never hear from anyone else, but don't plan things, right? Don't plan them. Just say, I want to do this, and do it. Try to do it every day, right? Because that sort of planning set a lot of people up. You set yourself up for failure, right? Because you set the expectations which are unrealistic, right? So instead of saying, I want to finish this project in 3 months, how about you say, well, let me try to code this project once a week. And then in a month, let's say, let me try to do it now twice a week. It's the same with gym, it's the same with running, exercising, it's the same with reading books, right? You have to start very slow, right? Instead of saying, I'm gonna go to gym now 7 days a week. You will not, right? You will not go 6 times, 5 times, 4 times. Try going once for half an hour, right? Switch to Warp is very good. Quirk, good evening, buddy. So how to motivate yourself? Well, if you need to motivate yourself to start a project, I think that already gives you you have an instant response. Why would you start something that you're not even motivated about, right? Because this is often the truth that people don't want to face. Is like, I mean, you have chosen to do a project that you don't want to do. You see the contradiction there. Why would you choose explicitly yourself without any side pressure to do something that you clearly don't want to do, right? It's also fine to say, well, actually, is this really something that I want to do? Maybe that's not what you want to do in the first place, right? So it's right. What would be the best database for chat with voice anonymous dating app? You could use CouchDB, you can use MongoDB, you can use whatever, right? I would first build the app with any database and then worry about the database, if you get what I mean, right? So first build it, store data anywhere, even in a file, right? It's worth the money, yes, 100%. It's worth 10 times more a month. So what I would say to all of you who want to build something, just start something. Choose some technology. Right? Copilot is also worth, yes, absolutely. It's a very simple calculation. Like, it's if you're making, let's say, 100 euros an hour, 50 euros an hour, and those two tools save you 1 hour a month, then you have already paid for them twice. So that's simple calculation, right? But what do you mean? How many users do you have now? You're saying you want to scale. Scale what? Drev, my friend, you too, man. I wish you a good night. Okay, so you already have users. Okay, that's good. That's great. Okay, I didn't know. I thought it's a fresh new project. From the perspective of your entire career, what pushed you the most in your development? I mean, positions, better design, being more desirable in the labor market, or more soft skill direction. There's a lot to talk about it, or heavy programming. Right? I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about being able to work in cool, interesting projects. Let me get back to the database question in a second, just to answer this. I think so Massa, right? I think fundamentally where I think you and I differ, as at least based on your questions, right, is that I never misunderstood my programming job to not be something other than the job as well. So there are several points to this. So first and foremost, right, no matter what, I have a family to feed, right? So that has been the case for many years. That's number one. So that's basically something that is not a matter of choice. It's a matter of you have responsibility to your child, your wife, whatever, right? And I think second is that I just love computers, right? I mean, I've been working full-time since 2008, so that's what, 16 years now. But way before that, when I was young, I was writing code, right? And way before I got into this industry, before I made no money, I had no intention, I had no idea that this was going to be something that's going to be my career. I also loved programming, right? So I didn't get into this industry at all. I mean, you know, I was a programmer way before I went to university as well, right? So I think for me personally, it's just been a very different path. I never got into this because I thought I'm gonna make money or I'm gonna do this or that. And when it comes to projects, I mean, I have to unfortunately tell you that many years in your career, you're gonna be building something that's not necessarily cool, right? But what is cool, right? You have to figure out where do you drive your passion from, right? Because I think you're trying to because what is a cool project, right? You should be asking yourself, am I actually making something that helps people? Am I making some people happy, right? are the customers of the product that I'm building actually, am I improving their life to some degree, right? Because you don't have to work in Apple or Netflix to think that you're building something cool, right? There are people who are building programming medical devices that save millions of lives every year, right? Nobody talks about those people, right? When have you heard somebody saying, oh, I work in a medical industry writing software? Nobody talks about it, right? Which doesn't mean that's not cool. That's super cool. I mean, those programmers are saving lives, right? You have programmers who are programming systems for airplanes, right? Yeah, there you go, man. That's super cool, man. I find that super cool. So maybe you should be thinking about the impact you're leaving to those who are consuming that thing that you're building. Not necessarily that, I think that's way more cooler than working at Netflix or something like that. What is cool with Netflix, right? You're watching a fucking movie, right? Something that we've been doing past 30 years, right? So you need to maybe, that's what I would do. I would recalibrate where I drive my inspiration from, right? Because what is cool, right? I mean, you don't have to have a cool logo, right? Or to right? Prime GN. Oh, the Vim guy, right? Yeah. Copilot is great, absolutely. Copilot, any AI that you can get your hands on, you should do that. Yes, absolutely. 100%. I don't think that's true, Mas. I disagree with that. You don't have to be attractive. I mean, I think, and please don't misunderstand me, I hope that I'm wrong, right? But I think that a lot of you guys are being influenced too much by YouTubers, Twitter heroes, as I call them and stuff. I'm not saying, maybe I'm mistaken, maybe you have drive that. I don't think that's true at all, man. You don't have to be attractive. You just have to look at the world and companies way broader than just the surface, right? There's thousands, millions of companies out there who are looking for people, right? They're just not visible all the time. They're not on billboards. They're not on YouTube commercials, right? But they're real companies, right? Who are doing crazy things, right? So I don't think that you have to, there's no such thing as attractive, right? I don't think that's true at all. I think there's a bunch of companies out there looking for people, right? And there are a bunch of companies doing insane things, like great things, right? I mean, we all have to compete, right? But just focus on yourself. I mean, I think don't overthink it, right? I don't think that so you should read some Stoic philosophy, right? I think that's gonna help you a lot. If you read something like this would be probably good to read for you, right? But try to focus just on yourself and the things that you can control, right? You cannot focus on things that you can't control. Oh, market is like this, market is like that, market is this. I mean, you might have 100% all the points correct, but what can you do? You can't do much about it, right? So instead of overthinking that, man, just I would just say, just enjoy what you're doing, and exactly. But just focus, man, on what you're doing, and that's it. Market is always good and bad. It oscillates. It's never linear. It's always up and down, right? So I think you are very safe. We're all safe in this industry, so I wouldn't worry that much. It's gonna take many years until we have to start worrying about things, right? So that's my take. But again, you know how they say opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, right? So maybe I'm biased as well. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but who knows, right? At least what I've seen all these years, Masa, is that we've been hearing. I remember when I was very young, maybe I was 12 or 13 years old, I think I used the Macromedia Dreamweaver, right? And I remember during those times when Micromedia Dreamweaver came out, and also some of those website builders, people were saying, oh my god, programmers are dead. This was more than 20 years ago. People were saying programmers are going to lose the jobs because now you have this graphical user interface to build the websites, right? So I've been hearing that, you know, yeah, exactly. Rebecca, friend, good evening. Any front page users? What do you mean? Do you mean, do we have any users signed up on Programmer Network, or? Oh, front page users. Yeah, sorry, man. I'm just with millions of different questions. Stream Deck worth or not? I don't know. I mean, I have it. It's right here, but I'm not using it much. Because again, I'm not a typical streamer. I just press stream, as you can see. I chat a bit and I leave. So is it worth it? Who the hell knows? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. For me, probably not. I barely touch it, and I have the biggest one. LLMs are not like Dreamweaver. To some degree they are, right? But not, I agree. But Nick, you too, man. Thank you very much for being around. Top tier streamer, exactly. Okay, guys, listen. Thank you so much for being here, chatting and stuff. I need to go as well. It's 1:30 midnight here, and I need to Massa, but please come around anytime, man. Let's chat, and very interesting things. As always, please take my opinions, like any other opinions, with a grain of salt. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, so don't you dare to. I just share my own. I might be completely inaccurate or wrong on many of them, so never forget that. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you once again. Rebecca, thank you for coming by to say hi, and I'll catch you guys up another time, okay? Yeah. Yes, I can show the book. It's called The Stoic Mind. I think you can get it also for free on the internet. All right, fellas. Good night, everybody. Peace out.